Good afternoon. This podcast presentation is titled Creating an Exit and Stay Interview Process by DriscollDunnE, MHA 603, Spring 2018, University of Nevada, Las Vegas. An exit interview is an interview conducted between an employee and an HR manager upon resignation or termination to, as stated by Brian Sharp in his article titled Stay Interview vs. Exit Interview, to gain a better insight into the reason for the turnover from the employee. A stay interview is an interview conducted between an employee and direct supervising manager to evaluate the reasons why the employee is working for the company and to understand how, as stated by Susan Heathfield in an article titled What is a Stay Interview with Employees in the Workplace? Knowledge about what the organization can improve and how you can retain your remaining valued employees. Both exit and stay interviews enable organizations to resolve issues, make changes, and improve training and education procedures among their employees and team members. There are a few main impacts of a stay interview for a company. First, it can prevent employees from resigning from the company by learning what concerns and issues they may have and how to resolve them. Next, stay interviews can motivate current employees with positive feedback and reinforcement of a job well done. The main reasons to conduct a stay interview is to increase employee retention and reduce turnover. Now we will look at the important factors on how to conduct a stay interview. Always listen to the employee about any questions or concerns that they may have and how to address them. As stated by Brian Sharp in his article titled Stay Interview vs. Exit Interview, communicate benefits and talk about how benefits can play a bigger part in the compensation plan of the employee. Ask questions on the employee's experience in his or her current position, relations with other employees and management, and any other information that needs to be discussed. And as the supervising manager, build a relationship with your employee to show they are part of a team. Now, on the other hand, regarding impacts of an exit interview, first is to minimize future turnover within organizations by learning the reason or reasons for an employee's resignation or termination. An exit interview can help human resources and management understand areas of improvement that may have caused an employee to resign or hindered their success with the company. Another important impact of an exit interview is to establish patterns in resignation and termination to, again, reduce turnover in the future. Now we will look at the important factors on how to conduct an exit interview. Ask the employee questions on why he or she may have resigned or why the employee felt they could not succeed in their position, which caused their termination. As stated by Hammock Incorporated in an article titled 10 Tips for Asking Good Exit Interview Questions, make the interview one-on-one, conducted in a private environment, because ganging up on a departing employee with multiple interviewers or asking exit interview questions in a public setting could be intimidating and might limit the person's willingness to respond honestly. In an exit interview, it is very important to communicate anonymity of the interview by assuring, as again stated by Hammock Incorporated, that no one beyond the interviewer will know the specific comments of the individual. This will help the employee feel more comfortable to discuss the issues honestly. It is important to understand when to conduct stay and exit interviews. These interview meetings must always be one-on-one with HR representative for an exit interview and always one-on-one with a direct supervisor or manager for a stay interview. Stay interviews should be conducted annually, but not at the same time of the annual review. This would take away from the reason of the stay interview with distractions of the appraisal feedback interview. Exit interviews need to be conducted immediately after an employee's resignation or during the termination interview process. conclusion, stay and exit interviews are a vital part for management and HR departments for organizations to understand their employees and improve the policies and procedures within a company. As discussed in this podcast presentation, stay interviews are critical for employee retention and to reduce turnover. Exit interviews are important to establish patterns in resignation and/or termination of employees and make changes within the organization to resolve these issues. Thank you.